Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Political Brown Kid here, and I'm just going to do this final part to this whole dating fiasco: where to date, where not to date, where to go, where not to go. All of these lists that are coming out. Once again, I think that we as a community need to stop this. But I just want to kind of point this list out. The reason why I'm pointing this list out too is because I went to Tanisha Talk's page. So Tanisha Talk, she's a content creator. She does a very good job. I think also too, I think she does very good impartial. She tries to bring balance to the force, to conversation, try to keep it, as positive as possible to try to bring people together, and we shouldn't be as divisive. And the one thing I'm going to say is this, because it's true, and I think that this is how Cynthia G went down the path that she went down. Because remember, she was creating pro-black content, and then she just suddenly went down this I hate, the brothers content. And I think what happened with her was that was the stuff that was getting a lot of hits on her page. And I'm going to say this because I'm noticing the same thing. I do videos about Black history. I've done stuff about defending sisters. I've done stuff about defending Black people as a whole, giving people perspectives on Black culture and how America and how European society has kept us down. And none of that content got any hits. That content has probably got single digit hits. 2 hits here, 4 hits there, 6 hits there. As soon as I start posting stuff about, my dating experience, which has been very negative, my dating experience is trash. So I'm trying to work on myself and see what I can do to improve myself to hopefully course correct. Because I'm going to start with myself first. That's the stuff that's getting all of the hits. That's the stuff that's luring people in, and now everybody's subscribing. And as soon as I post something outside of that, then those videos don't get hits. So I think that that's how Cynthia G got lured into where she's at. But I'm going to just kind of wrap this whole thing up with this whole dating list thing, because Tanisha Talks, she kind of enlightened me a little bit. I'm assuming that her facts are correct. She said that the list was created by John Shaft. He created the woman's list, and it was created by John Shaft. And that's where he got his information from. He said, I think with the help of some female input. And that's how he came up with the women's list of places not to go. But then she also says in her video that he created a list of acceptable places. And she was like, well, that list didn't get any hits, and it didn't create such a stir because it didn't fit the stereotypical, Black woman narrative, I guess negative Black woman narrative. Well, I want to look at this list because I think it does fit the narrative, and it's kind of troubling. So I want to kind of look at it. So we've all seen the places of, that the women did not want to go. Chipotle, Cheesecake. Of course, Cheesecake was number 1. Chipotle and all those other spots. So here was the list of acceptable places. And I've lumped these into 3 categories. And so you're going to see how this category works. And this is the reason why I did this. So I'm going to start with the bottom category. They had wine. How I grouped it was this. So I have 4 things in this one group: wine tasting, picnic, zoo, museum, walk in the park. Now, I think that this is relatively okay. This is a nice grouping right here because it is budget friendly. If you look at this, it's budget friendly. The only thing that would deter me a little bit would be the wine tasting because, I'm not into doing the wine tasting. But, I think that these are 4 acceptable places: wine tasting, picnic, zoo, museum, walk in the park. Okay, fine. So that's the first 4, and that's in that one group. Then I have one that's in its own separate group. This one I'm just finding, how is this a first date? Shopping. So shopping on a first date. So to me, Tanisha, this does fit the narrative that people have, the negative narrative. So on a first date, shopping, because then on a first date, she's going to say, well, you took me out, so you're supposed to be buying and spending. So it's kind of like, is that a way to get to know somebody on a date, is to go shopping? So Tanisha, I do think that this fits the narrative. And it validates that list that was originally put out. You won't go to Cheesecake Factory to enjoy a meal, but you want us to take you shopping. And then where can we take you shopping? Because going shopping is very broad. You want to go to Ross? You want to go to BJ's and get some shoes and a t-shirt out of BJ's? Want to go to Walmart and get a t-shirt? Target? Or do you want to go high end? Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom. So that, again, it fits the narrative. And then the other places is 15. So the final 15, I put into its own category. And this is the reason why I'm going to let you know. You should see a pattern here. Top Golf, Dave & Buster, Main Event, never been to Main Event, zip lining, go-kart racing, escape room, rec room. Rec room is where you can go in and break stuff. Dancing, laser tag, miniature golf, mud riding ATVs, comedy show, painting, gun range, and spa date. Now, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm going to call this the fun category. I didn't call the other ones any kind of category. I would call like maybe the wine tasting, picnic, zoo, museum, walk in the park. That's leisure category. Shopping would be, I don't know, just materialistic category, I guess. But this last one, this 15 things are just fun, fun, fun. And then again, people are supposed to have fun in life. I get it. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm a prude, but it's just kind of like on a very first date. Now, I'm not objecting to some of these things because some of these things are pretty cool. Like, I'm not into golf. I'm not a golf person, but if you're into golf, okay, go play golf. Skate room may be pretty cool, but like zip lining, like on a first date, where do you go zip lining at on a first date? It's just kind of like gun range. And I told y'all about these women and guns. I told y'all, like, I tell you, when I go to the gun store, you see more sisters in the gun store bringing in their hardware to go into the range and go shooting than you see brothers. I'm telling you, these sisters. I guess everybody gotta know how to defend themselves, but I'm telling you, they have a fact. We are more and more Hellenized. But like spa date, like on a first date, spa date. It's just like, to me, this list, and again, this list isn't totally bad, but to me, it just fits the narrative that women are just like, we just want to have fun, excitement, fun. There can't be a dull day in my life. If you're not going to live up and have fun and we're going to be in party with me all day long, then I don't want to be with you. And so, once again, if this is a first date, think about it. If you go ziplining on a first date, you might as well jump out of a plane on a first date. You might as well do that, the bungee jumping and jumping out of a plane and going inside of those indoor skydiving things. The relationship goes down here from there. If that's your first date, what are you going to do for your second date and your third? You cannot, in order to top this type of stuff, it goes up and up and up. Then after that, if you just like, hey, baby, let's just settle down and have a Netflix night, she's going to be out the door. Bye. So that's my only concern with this list. And to me, it does fit the narrative because if you notice on the list of acceptable places, there's nothing, like I said, a picnic, a zoo, museum, and a walk in a park. Okay, yeah. Those are pretty decent things to do. But, the other things on this list can be challenging and not challenging in the sense like that you can't do it, but it's just kind of like that's going to be setting the bar for the expectation is our dates are all going to go like this. And our life is just going to be this exciting forever. So that's the problem that I had with this list, Tanisha. And then I think also, too, the other point that Tanisha made was she was basically saying, men and women hate each other, but they're just, sleeping with each other. No, they're not. Women are sleeping with a select group of men. Women are sleeping. They're getting their thrills. Men are not. There's a lot of men that are not having intimate relations. And that's the point that people are missing. The men are getting frustrated because they're not having intimate relations. I was just talking to a friend of mine, and they were letting me know that I guess it happened to two different guys. One guy drove all the way. He drove 400 miles to meet this female, and the female didn't open the door. And another guy, he drove I think he took a plane out to meet another female. She stood him up. It's like, if you can't even find, you think about this, men can't even find women that are local to them to have relations with them. They have to travel. Men are now having to get passports and go to other countries just to have intimacy because the women in the United States will not sleep with them because they're all sleeping with the pretty boy, the fun boy, or the sexy boy, the gangster boy, the excitement boy. And the rest of the men, they have to do other things. They're traveling, trying to hook up with women all over and I find that sad because you can't tell me that there's not one guy that you can't like, but the bar and the expectation is just so high from women that the guys just aren't having any luck. And these are the hard facts that are out here in these streets. And these are the facts that a lot of people don't want to deal with. Call me a liar. I challenge you to call me a liar. You know, no one is proud to admit that they struggle finding female companionship. But when the females are staying in the house and they're not outside, or the only time they come outside is when they come out in herds, in packs, and then you like, man, I can't even approach this pack, and you get shot down so much that you don't even know if you should continue to shoot your shot because you done got shot down 100 times in a row. What are you supposed to do? So this is the problem that men are facing. And I hope that other people understand that. And in this list, I mean, these lists, number one, I agree they have to stop. Let's make a list about things that we like about sisters and that we like about brothers. Sisters, make a list about the things you like about men, what you miss about being with a man. And men, make a list about things that you miss being with a woman and the things that you enjoy. Let's get to doing that. And then let's work on solutions to the problems that we're facing. And why do men have to travel overseas just to have intimate relationships with a woman? So this is the Political Brown Kid. I've gone on for much too long, but this is the Political Brown Kid. Definitely like and subscribe, and definitely drop your comments in the comment section. I'm out.